Welcome back to another episode of the FPL Fundits quick game week 9 video before the deadline. It's going to possibly release 45 minutes before the deadline with the latest information available. I'm not really sure any team news comes in, but if it does, I'll cover it in this video. I'm going to try keeping it very short, just about 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to be taking you through my wildcard draft in case I don't wildcard yet because I've not hit on that button. Had a terrible few game weeks. I was at about 38,000 overall, then 74, and now game week 8 was really a bad one. But hopefully, with or without the wild card, I can find my way back before the break for the World Cup. Before we go ahead, quickly want to show you guys our FPL Money League code. It's getting very competitive up there, and if you haven't already, please join and follow us on our Twitter and Instagram handles. All right, let's now carry into what my team looks like currently. War in goal, obviously, is another reason I'm just considering wildcarding. Sanchez on my bench. Cancelo, Trippier, Perisic, James, Diaz, Martinelli, De Bruyne, Mitrovic, Haaland, Jesus. It's not entirely a bad team. North London Derby is a bit of a worry. It could turn out to be it could go anyway. Conte has a few injury doubts. Taking out Jesus, for example, for Tony could prove to be a risky move. He's still owned by almost 69% of all FPL managers, so would be a drastic point rank drop if Tony blanks and Jesus does deliver as well, or if Jesus gets any form of returns. Now, the obvious ones here is if you're looking at this and this is what a team looks like, you're missing out on Salah. You're missing out on Kane, you're missing out on possibly Kane or Son. You're potentially not, you don't have Ivan Toney as of now in this team. In terms of keeper, a little bit weak. Perisic, not really a bad player to have over here. I do expect him to start this game week. It's Brighton, Everton after that, United, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Liverpool. It's not a terrible fixture around at 5.6, but I think rotating around, I could potentially, reinforce in other places if I downgrade him, but I can't take a -4, right? Let's say I do Jesus to Tony, -4, take out Perisic, downgrade to a 4.3, Justin 4.4, Sufal or West Ham player, or a Gay from Crystal Palace. I don't know if that move is really worth it, right? So let me just move on and show you guys the transfer and what it looks like so it's a little easier. So this is the one free transfer being used to sorry, let me just go back to this. Right, so this is the one free transfer I've used to get in KDB to Salah firstly. We're talking about Salah over here. He has dropped in ownership. He's dropped to 12.8, 35%-ish owned. His points returned will still haunt you. Brighton, decent side, managerless of sort. Since Porter has gone, at least there'll be a change in the system. And not a bad player to now get in. Obviously, KDB looking in form, has got rest, looked good in the last game. Manchester Derby, yes, United looked good before the break, but they've had a bigger gap in the games that they've not played. Looked a little shaky in the Europa League as well. Not the most convincing. So keeping KDB has merit, moving him for Salah has merit, especially when you eye out game week 11 from right now, in which Arsenal and City both game week 12, when Arsenal and City both blank, right? So look, Brighton, Arsenal, good fixtures for Salah. City potentially tough, but then West Ham, Nottingham, Leeds, Tottenham could go either way, and Southampton. So good fixture run coming in. So getting in Salah is definitely an option. Moving KDB to Son as a single move is an option if you can't afford Kane. Son looks to be hitting form, scored in the international break for South Korea as well. The other move I was talking about was, so let's say if I move KDB to Salah, I still have 0.3 left in the bank. I had 0.9 left earlier. Problem is, I don't know if I like Perisic in my team. Do I start Nico Williams against Leicester? Would that be James, Williams, Cancelo, Trippier, Martinelli, Diaz, Salah, Mitrovic, Jesus, Haaland? Not 100% happy. Look, it could go either way. Jesus and Martinelli could both deliver to ease any woes. Spurs have a few injury concerns there as well. On the other side here, if I just move down, Jesus to Tony. I'm left with 1.6 in the bank. I can keep this one free transfer. Next week, use this money in the bank. Delay that wild card, move out Perisic, or potentially see how Salah's doing, see how Son are doing. Figure out a way to kind of maybe get in one of them. Keep hold on to KDB one more week. So, tough choices, right? It's not the easiest move. If you have all of these players already, you have Tony and you're not worried about Jesus because you already took him out for Tony and you're looking for different moves. I think if you already have Salah, getting Madison in for a Luis Diaz is a great option. If you're looking to go two up front with Kane, Tony, or Kane, Mitrovic, Haaland, so you have only room for 8.0s, getting in Foden, Madison, or even holding on a 3-8 is an option, right? Assuming you don't have Trent in your team. I think it's very tough to do all of that with Trent in your team. So let's just look on now to the wildcard draft. Right. Raya again for me is the safest keeper. Purely looking at fixtures, it's Bournemouth, Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea, Villa, Wolves, Nottingham, and City being the last tough one there, right? So I think he's a safe option in terms of fixtures. Now, obviously, coming Newcastle and Pope, a lot of people have gone for Pope. Let's look at Newcastle's fixtures again. Fulham, Brentford, great. United, tough potentially. Everton, easier. Tottenham, little tough. Villa, Southampton, and then Chelsea again. Like I said this in the last video, not the toughest run possible. Pope is in form, could be doing even better going ahead. At 5.3 though, so obviously a big upgrade in terms of the money you're investing, let's say over a 4.5 Raya, right? 0.8 more over there. So that's something to consider. A lot of managers, like I said, already have Pope in Game Week 8 wildcard. His ownership is almost at 20%. So it's about where you want to invest your money. So looking at the overall wildcard, I have got in Justin for Perisic, Madison for Jensen, Tony for Jesus as of now. Now, a few things to consider here is how you want to structure your team. Do you want to go in for those three premiums? Right now, I just have De Bruyne and Haaland, right? Do you want to go in for Kane as well? Then that means there's no room for Tony, ideally. I don't think you can do all three of them. Let's say I go in. So looking at the overall structure, you would start, Madison, before I make or tinker around. You have Madison, Diaz, De Bruyne, Martinelli. That's 4 up there. 3, so probably be a 3-4-3, right? With James, Cancelo, Trippier, Justin, Nico Williams, Andreas rotating off the bench. So not a very bad bench. Like I said, Leicester has decent fixtures coming up. Justin seems to be fit, 4.3, with Nottingham, Bournemouth, Palace in the next 3, I think, and Leeds. Good shout out for me. Let's say then, if this is not the team we're looking at, you want in Harry Kane. So let's just go with Kane up top. So how do you work around team where you're downgrading players, right? So obviously, I don't think you can hold on to these players in the middle. Let's see if we can get in Bailey again here, everyone's favorite nemesis, but savior as well at the same time. Now I'm struggling to get in Kane or that third premium option in here in terms of Kane as a striker, right? Obviously, the other way around, what a lot of people are doing is downgrading Mitrovic to Solanke at 5.7. Definitely can afford these players then. So let me just show you how we can go about it. So I'll have a 0.5 in the bank. Now, what this bothers me is it's weakened my team in terms of I don't have a Madison or a Zaha, and I downgraded my third striker, right? So it's Haaland, Kane starting, Martinelli, Diaz, De Bruyne, James, Nico Williams, Cancelo, Trippier, Justin. Not really too happy with the balance of the team, and that 0.5 I can't really use to even go up to a Pope there. That's my worry in terms of my team structure and how you should potentially look at this. Alternatively, you can keep Jesus there, or let's say I can stick to Tony. Now you're okay with Haaland cover, right? What if you want to get in? You can probably look at Son. Although, like I said, he has been taken off earlier in games, even though he's played well. The last game he came off the bench and did well. 5.1 here left in the bank. Now, let's assume I've left Solanke in. Let's say I keep Mitrovic in here for now. It leaves me 3.9 in the bank, and I can now either do Son up to Salah as well. But let's say what I can do with this 3.9, right? I can then look at getting in Foden, a third Man City player. That's option one. United Southampton pool. Blank is the one to consider, which is why I think that triple up can be moved on from next week, or potentially before Liverpool and 11, right? You could hold on to them for the Southampton match. Again, for me, Madison comes in with fixtures. He's looked good for them. You have 0.6 left in the bank. Obviously, moving on to Salah from here is going to be tough overall. So here are a few things to tinker on that wild card. I'm not nailed that wild card just yet. I feel I have a scope of moving around two players to get that. I could go down James Cucurella and make all of this fit in. Like I said, 1.1 is what I would need Son to go over Salah in the coming week. James down into Cucurella right now would potentially give me that money in the hand. Cancelo down to even a Diaz or a Walker could definitely sort this out. I would give money in the hand to keep Salah in right now. Just to show you also there's no confusion. So at 12.8, you have Diaz, Madison, Salah. Let's say you want to hold on that Cancelo on your move. You can go for Zaha, who yes plays Chelsea this week, but then has good fixture run. So you're kind of thinking ahead over here, avoiding that second City player already. So you have lesser players blanking in the fixture between City versus Arsenal, which has been postponed. So these are all good picks according to me. You just have to see what works for you. Fixtures are already there for you to see. Most of these teams have good fixture runs. Palace do, Leicester do, Brentford do. So it's about how you want to keep that premium option. Which premium is the one you want to have in your team? When do you want that premium to come in? Kane has a good record in the North London Derby, for example. You want to get him in this week, then you can downgrade your other players, see how that works. Lot to tinker and think about over there, but ideally these are the players I would consider when I'm wildcarding right now myself. Yeah, coming to captaincy, I think Haaland has my band, even though it's playing United, even though it could go the other way. If you're getting in Salah versus Brighton, I think Salah is definitely a good shout out. You're against the ownership, obviously, of Haaland and what the effective ownership could be. But if you're getting in Salah, I think you could get him to captain him, right? Especially if you're doing a free transfer or a -4 there. I think Salah is the one over there. Differentially, Kane again against Arsenal could be a good shout out. So I would go Haaland, Salah, Kane in that order. But I said it is going to be a very, very quick episode. So thank you so much for tuning in to Football Fundits and to FPL Fundits in particular. So subscribe to our Twitter, to our Instagram. Let's get those accounts going again. Any other doubts, hit us up on Twitter. This episode, I think, is going to go out in about 45 minutes before the deadline. So not to worry about the views, but just want to help out for anyone thinking last minute and get anything to gain from this video. Best of luck for this game week. We'll catch up in the next one. See you.